Hey guys, it's me, David, and guys, I got something special for you today. It is the Battlefront 2 brand new Clone Trooper classes, and the second I saw the E3 gameplay that was released about a week or two ago, I was like, oh my god, that looks awesome.
Sector is clear. Not clear, not clear!
How cool would that be in Lego? And so what I want to do with this video, guys, is not only just show you what I've done to recreate them, but to show you how I did it so you guys can do it too if you want. So that's what we're going to be doing, a tutorial on how to make the Battlefront 2 Clone Trooper classes. So what you're seeing right now is the Sniper class, the regular class, and I think it's the Assault or Heavy class, along with the assistant or officer or medical. There's the specific names, and I'll just go ahead and put the title of each one of them over the correct clone trooper because I don't know them by heart yet. But yeah, so anyhow, what I've done is I decided to opt out from using other helmets and decided to use the Lego Clone Trooper Episode 3 helmet. That's pretty new. It only came in actually 2 sets. It came in the, I believe it was the Clone Turbo Tank Microfighter set and the Lego Star Wars, it was one of the Christmas calendar sets. So it's pretty hard to get your hands on a lot of them. This figure especially right here, the basic version of the Clone Trooper, I think goes for more than like $15 now. So it is a little bit tricky in terms of getting a hold of a bunch of these clone troopers. So don't worry about that, guys. I'm going to show you a couple options that you can do instead of having to use these specific helmets. Now the body itself has been used on other clone troopers, so you may be able to get your hands on it, or if you don't, there's some other options as well. Now also what you'll notice, guys, is that their legs all have printing on them, and so I've taken some of my own custom minifigs for you Lego figures that I sell on my website and have used some of the legs the custom printed legs and opted them on here. And then this guy right here, I'm just going to call him the Assault class. He actually has arm printing on the sides, as you can see. And the reason why is because this guy was actually a minifigs for you figure. It was just a basic clone trooper, and I still had one left, and I threw the helmet on with a clone trooper, or a Clone Army Customs visor and blaster, and the cloth gear that you're seeing right there. And that's how I was able to make that. So anyhow, that's what you're kind of seeing. Just want to give a quick breakdown, but now I want to break down each figure individually. So let's go ahead and start with our Sniper class. Alright guys, so our first clone trooper is the Sniper class, and this is actually probably it's a second, maybe third, it's pretty simple, maybe the second simplest. So here's the breakdown. So we have the clone trooper, we have the backpack behind him actually, we have the cloth, and then we have the helmet with the micro binoculars along with the weapon that you'll see here. Now, first off, the weapon that I'm using here is actually a little arm shot. I believe it's some type of Imperial blaster. I don't know the exact name off the top side of my head, but what I do know is it looks like the sniper rifle that it looks similar, at least enough, to the one that's used in the Battlefront 2 gameplay that was released. Now, if you guys can't get your hands on it, and by the way, everything that I'm showing will be linked down in the description. If you want to know where I got it, it's all down below. So if you want to go out and buy all this stuff and make these figures yourself, it's all down there. But anyhow, you can actually switch it out with a Brick Arms blaster if you want to, if you can't get a hold of this rifle that I've used. I would use a Brick Arms DC-15. I think it's just the DC-15, not the S. I think this is the S, but anyhow, so the other thing I have here that you're seeing is a Clone Army Customs regular clone trooper helmet. This is actually what it looks like, and then I have installed the micro binoculars on it, and that is probably a safer option than what I have currently on it. So I'm using the Lego Episode 3 helmet's pretty hard to get your hands on it. If you can get your hands on it, then great. But what I did is I modified it. I drilled a hole in it, using a 1/16 drill bit. I drilled a hole into the side of it. This is the test helmet that I worked on, and it didn't actually quite work the first time, and it didn't even work quite right. As you can kind of see, it's a slightly messed up actually. And I didn't want to attempt again on another helmet because these helmets are very rare. I didn't want to mess up another one. So my personal recommendation is not only for this clone trooper, but for all the clone troopers, is to use the Clone Army Customs helmet. Or you don't have to just use that. You can also use an Aerialite clone trooper helmet, and I'll link that below as well if you want to use that instead. So you have multiple options to get this the way you want it to be. There's plenty of awesome custom makers, and then I myself will be selling a set of these clone troopers on my site, Minifix for You. So if you want to check that out as well, all of these links will be down in the description. But yeah, anyhow, I think it's very simple in terms of how you put it together. It's basically just the cloth. This cloth I have here is from Clone Army Customs. You could use Cape Madness or other custom cloth makers that I'll link down below. But yeah, anyhow, I opted for Clone Army Customs, and it's a very simple pauldron. It's just has the black edge like that. It's pretty accurate to the one that's used in the video. And on the back is a Clone Army Customs jetpack. It's the same type of jetpack that's used for Commander Cody. So yeah, that is the sniper class for Battlefront 2, and their clone trooper at least. So I hope you guys enjoyed this figure. So without ado, let's head on off to the next one. Okay guys, so next up we have our kind of basic clone trooper. This is actually the easiest one to make out of all four. I think even easier than the officer/medic clone trooper, or officer I should say. But anyhow, it's very simple. So again, I'm using that same Episode 3 helmet with that same body, and then I have custom printed legs, but you could actually use the printed legs that come with this actual figure if you go out and buy the figure from that Clone Trooper Microfighter set. Now, if you don't have this helmet or this Clone Trooper, then you could take the custom legs, or again, just regular legs, and again, just kind of do the Clone Army Customs helmet, but instead of the one with the micro binoculars, you can just put the regular helmet on like so. So you could do that right there. That's another option if you want to do that, or of course you can go out and spend the extra money and get that helmet. But yeah, that's the breakdown of this figure. I'm also using the Brix Arms DC-15S blaster. Now, all of the classes here that I'm showing you guys, they all have the weapons that I'm using from the gameplay that was shown. But keep in mind that EA, the people, EA and DICE, I guess, are the ones who make Battlefront 2. They've come out and said that these weapons are changeable in the game, so these weapons are not set in stone. So if you can't get specific weapons for your Clone Trooper classes, it's not that big of a deal, because in the actual game you'll be able to change it up to whatever you want it to be. Except for the heavy Clone Trooper with the Z6 blaster. The Z6 rotary cannon is actually special to its class. But anyhow, that is the regular basic Clone Trooper. Pretty easy to make. I think all of you should have no trouble getting what you need to make this. So on to the next one. All right, guys, on to our third class Clone Trooper. So this is actually my favorite one by far. When I saw it in the game, I was like, wow, that looks awesome. It looks probably one of the most fun out of all the classes. Looks like the most fun to play to me. That's my opinion though. But yeah, so I'm very excited for this. Anyhow, in terms of the breakdown of the figure, this is how I made it. So again, I'm using that same kind of Clone Trooper setup. So I'm using this type of Clone Trooper with the legs and the body, except this particular Clone Trooper has the printed arms and such, because this was a Minifix for You figure beforehand. So that is what you're seeing right there. Now, again, in terms of the breakdown, what you're seeing is a Clone Army Customs cloth right here. I don't know exactly the name, it's just this type of cloth right here. And again, all of this will be linked down below. The next thing I'm using is a Clone Army Customs backpack on the back of them. And then after that, I'm using the C6 blaster, or I guess the hand cannon is also what it's called. But yeah. And the waist cape that I'm using is a Cape Madness waist cape, gray with a black stripe, but that is an optional thing. And then the helmet is again that episode 3 helmet, this one particular right here. Again, if you can't get your hands on this one, then you have actually some options. So the thing that's inaccurate about this clone trooper is it doesn't have the markings on the helmet, the what I call the Commander Cody markings. It's very similar to how Commander Cody has these like lines on his helmet, except that are gray. So I actually don't have that type. There's no really type of helmet that looks too similar, except for one, which is this helmet right here. This is from the new Clone Trooper fighter tank set, and it has similar markings. It's not exact, but if you have that, you can use that. And what I've done is I've put a Clone Army Customs visor on the helmet. It's actually very easy to put on, actually. Not hard at all. It just kind of easily goes on. Or if you don't have that, you could also just use the Clone Army Customs helmet and put the visor on that as well. Now back to the waist cape. Your other option is to actually use the waist cape from the 212th Clone Trooper, and this waist cape particularly is gray and will work perfectly for this. So if you don't want to go ahead and buy the Cape Madness waist cape, you could go for this instead. Both are good options. Now, something to keep in mind about the waist cape is that it's kind of a special waist cape for this Clone Trooper. It seems to only be on the sides and back. It doesn't fully go around like this one, so it's not fully accurate, but to a lot of you, I'm sure it doesn't matter that much. But if you do, that is an option if you want to make it faster and not have to order that specific waist cape. Anyhow, that's the breakdown for this Clone Trooper. Yeah, so on to the next one. Alright guys, so for the last class, we have the officer slash medic slash kind of like assistant type of class, I guess. But anyhow, it's basically a Clone Trooper officer. So what I've opted to use is, I don't know what particular figure this came from. It kind of came from my bucket of minifigures. But I think this came from the Super Star Destroyer set, actually. Maybe not because the badge doesn't match, but I don't know exactly what figure this came from. I'll actually link it below, probably an eBay or some type of link where it specifies what this officer came from specifically. Maybe it came from a battle pack. I don't know off the top of my head. Now, this is not your only option. There is an older officer that you could also use as well. You don't have to use the specific one. There's the older version. As you can see, it's a different type of gray. Honestly, doesn't matter that much. What I do suggest you do is not have the black hands, but put the flesh hands on it. And then the other thing I'm using here is a Clone Army Customs Rex pistol. That's also linked below. And then I'm also using the regular Clone Trooper face. I think that looks the best. If you go and look at the classes from Battlefront 2 gameplay footage, you'll notice that the faces do not match the Clone Wars TV show, but actually match Jango Fett's face from Star Wars Episode 2. Yet, what's funny is they use D. Bradley Baker's Clone Trooper Clone Wars voice, so I think that's kind of funny that they're meshing the two together like that. But yeah, so you have different options. There's many different officers you can use for this. You don't have to use the specific one. I think there's been multiple different designs of it. I do recommend you use this hat, but I mean, if you opt for this one, you need to use this hat. Otherwise, the gray won't work. It'll look a little weird if you have an offset gray. There is one other change I would do to this combination that I have here, guys, and that is the legs. Actually, something I don't have on hand right now that I would have done is use I think it's the new, if you take a look at the new Batman Lego figure, it's half gray, and the bottom part where the shoes / boots are, they're black. I would have used that black and gray leg combination for this officer. That would have been the perfect figure. Unfortunately, I didn't have that on hand, and I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible to you guys. So in the link below, along with all the other Clone Troopers, it's all breaking down by with different links for different options of what you want to do. I'll link the purchasing place where you can get those legs. But yeah, that'll be it, guys. So let's go ahead and exit out on this video. Okay guys, so the last thing I just want to show you is all this stuff kind of pulled together. So as you can see, I've kind of broken down different options and the different things that I use to assemble everything that you see here, guys. Again, you have two different helmet options. If you don't want to use this helmet, you could use the Clone Army Custom one, which is the one I have here, or you can use the Aerolite one, or if you really want to go old school, you can attempt and use the old Episode 3 Clone Trooper helmet as well. That requires a significant amount of modification. That's why I didn't have that as an option in this video, but you could do it if you wanted to. Definitely the one that has the most customization options is definitely probably the Heavy Assault class right here. But yeah, you have a plenty of different options here, guys. So I hope this video was helpful in terms of making your own Battlefront 2 classes, Clone Trooper classes. If you guys would like to, for me to make a Battle Droid one as well, let me know down in the comments below. I didn't go in terms of actually show how I put everything on the Clone Trooper. I figured it was pretty self-explanatory. But if that is something you guys want me to want to see, at least in a future video, let me know down in the comments below. But anyhow, I think this looks so awesome. Seeing all of these Clone Troopers in Lego, seeing the Battlefront 2 classes looks really, really kick-ass. So I am so excited for the game. I hope you guys are too. Hope this video was helpful, guys. So I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.